Hello Coaster friends and welcome back to Pause Games. It's Adam here and today we're back in Planet Coaster 1, specifically in our movie studios park, Clapboard Studios. Now if you go on to enjoy this video, don't forget to like down below and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all of the latest content. That content being Planet Coaster 1 stuff as we just tie up some loose ends, and then look forward to Planet Coaster 2, which is launching later on this year. It is very exciting. So in this video today, we have gone back into our movie studios park, which we did take a little spotlight look at a few days ago. But this park was always so close to being finished, and it's kind of at the stage now where let's just tie it off, let's get it sorted out, let's finish it off, and that's what we're going to do in this video. So this is kind of going to count as the final part ever of the movie studios parks, Clapboard Studios. This is going to be the last one. At the end of this video, this park is done, it's finished, we're never coming back to it, it is done. So the first and main thing that we needed to do in this final episode was finish and sort out this big haunted house dart ride. Now, a bit of context for anyone that hasn't seen the original series of this. I mean, go back and watch it, there's like 30 odd videos of this park, but this ride here used to utilize the like the Tower of Terror lift dart ride system thing. We put it in when that was basically added to the game, but it's a really tricky ride system to use, and I put two of them in there and I just never got it finished. I had to build it underground and it was a whole palaver, so I ripped that out, that's gone, never seen that again. And in its place we're just putting a bog standard spooky dark ride. It's actually it's just the basic blueprint of the one that came with the spooky pack, so yeah, I know, cheating, blah blah blah, but it's just, I needed to get something in here, so it was in the building. So we sort out the pre-show, add a little outdoor kind of transitional scene here, because you kind of break through into the house, and then the wall into like an outdoor crypt is what we're going through into the queue line, which kind of makes sense in a few minutes when you see where we put the ride, as it's in the reality of the like if this was a real life ride, inside the show building, beyond that sort of queue area would be a fake outdoor scene, so that's why it's sort of like a crypt entrance. So this whole section you're looking at now, it would essentially be outdoors in terms of the ride, but it's within a big show building. It'll make more sense in a minute. So a little bit of terrain work just to put a bit of a berm in, because the other thing we add is actually a building I built years and years ago for, it was actually a competition that Frontier ran one Halloween, where people had to make a spooky restaurant type blueprint thing, and this is the one that I made. Never added it into a park, and I thought it was quite nice the way it sits up on a hill and it sort of fills in this little gap behind the show building, and it just caps off the little spooky area. So yeah, this one is a blueprint, but this is one I did make. I don't know if we ever did a video on it actually. I don't know if I just made it for the competition or not. I couldn't tell you, I have no idea. So anyway, back to the dart ride. So we put a little bit of a queue line in. I decided to make the entrance to the actual ride itself at the Bloodfest. I can't remember what it's called. What's it called? Blood Soap Manor? Yeah, at the sign at the here at the entrance. That's where the queue line starts. A little bit of a queue through this room, and then it takes you into what will become the outside, in inverted commas, area of the dart ride. So like I said, it is just the default Planet Coaster dart ride, and I know you could argue I'm being really lazy with this, but I just needed to get this finished. And like I said, this ride that was in here, I spent hours on. I think there's numerous episodes on the channel in the series of me trying to figure out the dart ride scenes, and it got, I don't know, about one of the two sides got maybe 90, that's not generous, 70% of the way to completion, but I couldn't be bothered to finish it off, so that's why that had gone, and this is gone in its place. Would it really fit in a movie studios park? Probably not. It should really be something movie themed, but you know, it's what it is. We need to get this part finished, so that's why this is here. So a little bit of work inside to make the walls work and make it all line up. We do put the roof and all that kind of good stuff on here to make sure it is in, well, the dark, because it is a dark ride. We do a bit of a lighting pass, and that's kind of a theme actually for the second half of this video, is lighting, because it was the one bit of certain areas of this park which we never went back to finish. So I do an entire lighting pass of the entire park, which you'll see later on, and that's the sort of thing that ties everything up really, and gets it finished. So in terms of the plans for this park moving forwards, I don't think there are any. I don't think it's really worth putting out on the workshop or anything like that. I don't think people would A, care, and B, it's got a lot of custom audio and blueprints and stuff in here, especially for the Back to the Future ride. So it's probably not really worth it. I mean, if anyone really specifically does want it, let me know, but I don't think I'm going to bother putting it on the workshop. I just wanted to cap this off. So not only have I got a park save file that's done and is no longer sort of just lingering in the background, because there's a lot of projects that I've started and never finished in this game, and this is one of them. So at least this sort of finishes that off, and also so I can actually put an end to the series here on the channel, because this park did actually do quite well on the channel. Got quite a lot of views, I think mainly because we built it when the movies DLC first came out, so it was sort of fresh off the back of that really. So for anybody out there from 5, 6, going on 7 years ago, was a big fan of this park and was watching this series, there you go, it's finished. for those 2 people out there that might remember this, it is finished, and yeah, there we go, we can put it to bed. So anyway, back to the video. A few little bits of theme in here in the sort of exit pathway. Again, this is all meant to be outside, so we're just utilising a little bit of this empty space to put some bushes and whatnot in. Again, like I said, to give the impression that you are outside, and then it just escapes out of the show building into the rest of the area. So another little bit of lighting we do here, which we never finished as part of this ride, because we never finished the ride. So we just put some lighting on the outside of the building, around the queue, uplighting some of the trees. Very subtle, just to give it some sort of purple and green hues. And then we sort of backlight some of these turrets at the top. Again, very subtle, but from certain angles of the park, it looks quite nice and gives us a little bit of detail on the sort of soft edges of the building, because it is a very boxy building. I did contemplate earlier on, when I started this video, to completely rebuild it from scratch, but I thought, no, we'll just tweak it at the start, the entrance area way, because it looks grand, and we'll just assume that it's sort of based on, I don't know, a movie that's like a big hotel or something. I think that's what in the in-game story we'll go with, just for ease. And then we put some light theming around the back and the sides. We don't bother with the side near enough to the wall, because it wouldn't be in real life. They'd just be a facade. They wouldn't even bother. So there's a tiny little bit of realism we're putting in here. Again, I'm not going mad, because this park only had a few little bits of sort of staff places here and there. So that's what we do here. We put a little staff area in with a shutter. Imagine that's just where you get the ride cars in and out for maintenance. We put a little bit of foliage in to cover it up, but again, it's there. It's just an added tiny touch of realism, because it's always important, but I didn't want to really go around the entire park adding this sort of stuff. Maybe I should have done, I don't know, but we did for this ride anyway. A few more little bits of lighting in the actual ride itself, because there are quite a lot of dark scenes in this. Again, we go for like a purple theme for the first half of the ride, and then greens for the second half, which kind of fits with this little witch scene that's in there. And that is the dark ride, done and dusted. It's done, it's dusted, it's done and dusted, it's done. Did I mention it's done? It's done. So we're never coming back to that again. And finally, I can say, after 7 years, that building is complete. And it hasn't got a Tower of Terror ride system in it, because they are a pain in the arse to build. Yeah, so there we go, done. A little bit of light theming, like I mentioned, on the outdoors of the building. Nothing too spectacular, just a few little flourishes. Again, your eye isn't really drawn to this building in the path to the side of it, and this is just the exit, and you kind of just walk in alongside, and there's other bits and pieces to look at. So I think we can get away with it just being very lightly themed. That's certainly what we're going for anyway. So yeah, that is it. A few little bits of what's the word? Effects. That's the one. A few little bits of mist effect just to finish it off, and it's done. Okay, into the sci-fi area now. So we're just going to finish up a few bits here. We add some ambient music around the area. We hide some speakers around behind fences and props and that sort of thing. This area which we are building, this berm here, originally was going to be the next expansion plot of the park. It was going to go around sort of behind where the Backlot Tour is and into a new theme. We're not doing that. We're just going to end it here. We're going to cap it off. Two reasons. One, the game isn't running great on my current PC, and this park doesn't run great because we've got a lot of pieces in this park, from lighting and billboards and sound effects and all that kind of stuff. So I think adding in another area might push the limits a little bit too much before I upgrade the computer, which I am going to do before Planet Coaster 2 comes out, but I'm just still in the process of working that out. And the other thing is, the park is a bit of a weird layout. I kind of bottlenecked myself because I put the Backlot Tour in the middle, so it's very difficult to build around it in a full circle because it's massive, and we'd have to end up having this park at least double the size, which physically I haven't got the time to do, and it won't cope, it won't load if we do that, so and certainly won't record. So I made the executive decision to just end it there, and that's what we did in the sci-fi area. Over into the adventure area now, which is the final bit of the park that we need to finish up. We put in a full lighting pass of the area. We theme up the station because we never did. Very light again, just some props around. We keep it open because I feel like it would be. Imagine in a real world, this would be a full turntable, outdoor turntable that you get in Rapids. Very rarely do you get them indoors. I think there are a few around Europe, in some European parks that have maybe indoor turntables, but it's very rare. So yeah, imagine that's an outdoor one, little light theming, and that's what we do. We never went to do a lighting pass on this first act of the ride, so that's what we're doing. A lot of torches, a few pinpoint spots on some of the theming. This is where we pick up the lighting from previously. I don't know why I only did half the ride, but we did. A few extra lanterns up here. I'm just fixing a bit of the terrain. As I mentioned in the spotlight video a few days ago, for whatever reason this terrain was all messed up, and yeah, I just wanted to fix that up, so that's what we do. A few more bits of lighting around here, and that basically brings us to the end of Clapboard Studios. After what, 7 years, it's good to finally say that's a wrap. It's done. So there we go. That is Clapboard Studios. It's finally finished after all these years, and here it is. A little bit of a fly through of the park, really, in all its glory. Now it is finished. So, like I said, I'm not probably not going to put it up on the workshop. If anybody really, really wants it, let me know. I can always send it to you. But I don't think anyone will. But at least it's finished. Let me know down in the comments below what you think. And I know you'll probably all say, oh, that's a bit of a poor park. Yeah, I know. It was one of the first ones we did. There's better ones to come, which we'll probably finish off. Actually, on the subject of that, let's talk about that. There's a few dart rides we never finished off, which I'm tempted to go back into. So that might be an upcoming video soon, where we venture into some of the standalone rides, which we almost finished but never quite did. The other main park that I think we'll go back to was Hysteria Valley, which was sort of our main build, which we did alongside a lot of this stuff, but it was kind of the first main part we started building. We stopped it, we moved on to some other stuff, we did like the World Discovery Park, and then we never really went back to Hyperia Valley. Is it Hyperia? I always say Hyperia, but I think that might be wrong. So I keep saying Hyperia because of the roller coaster at Thorpe. Hysteria. It's Hysteria Valley. Oh my god. I can't even get the name of the park that I built right. Hysteria Valley. Damn you, Thorpe Park. Hysteria Valley is the park that I'm talking about. And that is the part we might go back into at some point. We haven't done a spotlight on that yet, because I did try and record it a few weeks ago and the footage came out terrible. So I might wait till I upgrade the computer for that. I'm currently sat next to my new CPU and I need to try and figure out a graphics card and all that stuff because it's expensive, and as of right now I'm not monetized yet back on YouTube because we've been away for that long. So we'll see how we get on, we'll see. But anyway, that's the plan. We're going to go back in some other parks, get them finished, maybe add some actual new areas in, and sort of do something a bit more fun, a bit more exciting than just putting the lights in and blueprints, which we've done here. So that's what we'll do in Hysteria Valley, which we'll go back to soon. So if you want to sort of say get up to date with that park, I mean, again, it's been many years, you can always head back, watch the previous episodes from that park. What I might do actually is I might make some new playlists of some of these old parks, but I think everything is kind of in one big Planet Coaster playlist, so I might make a specific Hysteria Valley playlist, which should, by the time this video is out, that should be there. So have a look in the description, hopefully there's a link to that. So watch that series, and fingers crossed, very soon we'll be back in there. I don't think we'll do that much stuff, maybe a couple of episodes again just to get it finished off. Like I said, I think I might build one new area in there, because there was a plot of land which we did earmark for expansion towards the end of that series, which when we look in the park in that video, you'll see we put a little fence up and a little teaser, so I think it's only fair that I at least finished that. So we'll put in a new theme, a new area, a new zone, and then cap off that, do a full pass of the park, make sure it's all finished, tart it up, add some fencing, that sort of thing, and yeah, get that as another thing ticked off the old list from Planet Coaster. So I think that, like I said, move forward, they're going to be the two main things we finish, is Hysteria Valley and a few of the standalone dark rides. Which ones, I'm not sure yet, but like I say, we'll do another video at some point soon to go through that. Right, so the last little bit on the screen here, we're just going through the last bit of the ride. So that was just a little fly through of what we've done here in this final episode, including the final lighting pass of the whole park. And here's a big overview of it. So this is it. This is Clapboard Studios. We're done. It's finished. We can tick it off, and finally it is done. And a park has been complete. I think this is the first park we've ever completed in Planet Coaster, which is really embarrassing to say, considering we had a 3-year break and we've been building this game for about 7 years. But it is what it is. Anyway, guys, that is going to do us for this video. Thank you ever so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this, give us a like down below. Subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all the latest Planet Coaster 1 and 2 content, as there's going to be lots and lots and lots and lots coming over the next couple of weeks and months in the run-up to Planet Coaster 2 launching. Right, guys, thank you ever so much. See you in the next one. Bye bye.